Hi, Kath.
Hiya.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this mini interview. I just want to capture like your menopause journey and how it's been on you, through your journey with us on the program as well with Sukan and I. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay. So can you tell us about your initial experience with menopause? What symptoms were you experiencing?
Really piling on the weight. So I'd been kind of eating really healthy, but getting really big around my middle. My weight was just going up and up and up. Didn't really know where to go. And a friend gave me your number. So yeah, it was really nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
How do these symptoms affect your daily life, both physically and emotionally?
So initially, before I started the program, obviously my weight was going up. That was impacting my exercise, so I couldn't exercise as much. So then, obviously, I was feeling tired, not having any motivation to do things. So just got in a really not a very good cycle, really,
Mm,
and also craving things like sugar and salt to keep up my energy levels. Like
mm,
in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock, I'd feel like I wanted to go to sleep, or I'd be reaching for something sweet or salty.
mm.
Um, yeah.
Okay, great. And did you try any treatments or lifestyle changes before seeking our help?
I've tried lots of different things, but they weren't really targeting the menopause or the perimenopause.
Mm,
Yeah, so I've done lots of different holistic treatments. I do like to kind of look at things naturally.
mm,
I wanted to like take a natural path with it, but no, that's it was the friend that recommended you, and I just asked her if she knew someone that was specializing in the menopause, and she gave me your name. So I just feel really blessed that that happened, because I was in a place where I didn't really know where to turn, because I think, you can go to the doctors and be prescribed lots of things, but because my path's been so natural for quite a
mm,
long time now, that's the way I wanted to go. I didn't really want to go down the HRT route and things
mm.
like that. So yeah, I was really pleased that yeah, we met and got the numbers and stuff, and yeah.
You knew what you wanted. You knew the path that you're already on. It was a natural path that you wanted
Yeah.
to
Yeah, yeah.
continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what prompted you to seek help for your menopause symptoms? What was it, that
I think it was just feeling like I didn't want to continue the way I was doing. So in 2017 as well, I got diagnosed with, or got, I don't know whether you'd call it a diagnosis, but told I had fibromyalgia.
mm,
And at that particular time, I didn't know that that had anything to do with menopause. So I was offered things like going to a pain clinic and stuff, but I'd already been managing pain and stress and things with Reiki and other holistic therapies that I was
mm,
using. So I just wanted something really that would target the menopause, and that I could use, just learn about it really. Because
yeah,
there's not enough information out there for you to understand how you can heal yourself basically, or around that topic. So
yeah.
that was my goal really, to try and find something like that.
Because it's not just physical, is it? It's not just, okay, take this and you'll start losing weight, or take this and you'll start feeling a bit better. It's like it's a whole journey within itself.
Absolutely. And just feeling like I wanted to, just as you've said, really get to the core of things. So, like a lot of the things, obviously, that have happened in the program is that you're actually tapping into the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, actually, all four things that actually make up the whole of a person. I don't think you realize until you do the program is the things that you've not even looked at, those little corners of yourself that you've not even looked at that are actually contributing to how you feel and how well you feel physically, emotionally, mentally. Yeah, so really pleased that, yeah, I've done this program.
What were your initial thoughts or hesitations before starting our program? Did you have any?
I don't think I really had any because I was just looking for someone who specialized in the area that I was looking at. So I feel like I was coming into it from a beginner's mind and just wanted to learn about learn about my body and how I could help it,
That's
basically.
awesome. So you're really open to
Mm,
it right from the
yeah,
beginning.
definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you'd watched some of my videos, so you were kind of a little bit introduced to me through my videos in the group, I remember you saying.
Yeah.
So that must have sort of spoke to you, resonated with you in some way.
Yeah, it did because I just felt that what you were offering is a lot of the things that I'd already been seeking and discovering and getting knowledge about, really. So I just felt like the program felt like it was going to be perfect. It was just going to be that addition to what I already do, that, consolidating things and bringing things together. So yeah, when I watched the videos, that really even spurred me on more to contact you.
Mm-hmm. And you've mentioned a few things already, but I just want to go into a bit more detail if you can. Can you describe your experience with our program and how did it compare to your expectations?
Oh, it's just gone beyond all expectations, really. It's just helped me to feel more empowered to manage myself on so many levels. The things that have happened, like the things that I've learned and the things that I've just been practicing myself has actually emanated into my family. So my family have been picking up things. So it's not just even though I signed up, I'm sort of being that role model to my family. And yeah, lots of great positive things regards nutrition and stuff with my family. Um, just everything really. It's just tapped into everything that I wanted to do. And even on the emotional and the mental level, like doing the work with Sukan, that actually unpicks some stuff that could be blocking, your progress with your nutrition, with just looking after yourself, being unconscious of the way you're operating, from an aspect that you might be operating from something like an aspect of a younger part of yourself that you were unaware of. And to be able to do the work with Sukan, that just unpicks that. And I can't explain it. I can't explain that experience, but it just helps you to move forward. And once you've done the work with, done some of that work as well, is it really does move you forward. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and just learning lots of things like with the nutrition, great, the lifestyle sessions are great, just learning how to cook, really, because I think as a child, like, I never really had that mother figure as well. So to be able to come into the session with other ladies, I mean, yeah, and to cook together, ask questions. It might be really simple questions that I ask that I don't even know, but they get answered, and that helps me to, be able to cook better for myself and my family. So that has satisfied a little part of me, which is, that's just beautiful. um the weekly sessions are amazing, meeting up with the ladies, you get to know them, they become friends, and that's just really supportive. We all talk about our wins, which just spurs you on if you've had a bad week, just listening to everybody else, because sometimes you find that there is a theme going on and
Mm-hmm.
people are just going through the same stuff. So there's that. And just literally, I think the biggest thing is unpicking some of the old patterns of, the way you do eat and the way
Mm.
you've been conditioned to eat. So being on the program, you're constantly making little tweaks and just bringing that into your daily life. So hopefully that becomes second nature. That's my goal, is that the things that you've taught me, Jay, is that they're going to be second nature, and I'm just going to be able to look after myself better. And I do feel that, I
You
really
already.
do feel empowered um to know all this stuff. That there's just so much that we learn, and it's, yeah, great. Thank you.
I think you'd be surprised at like how much of it's already second nature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that
Mm,
feels nice,
mm,
I don't think that things have become second nature until you sort of presented with, say you go for a meal and something is on the menu and it's something that you would have normally picked that's not great, might be full of sugar. You just find yourself not wanting it,
mm.
which is just like, it's just everything happens organically. And I think you've got a really good way of um just go in at a really nice steady space so people can take on the changes and not feel overwhelmed,
Mm.
which I think that's a really good point when you're going through the menopause, because there are times when you do feel anxious and overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so you don't want that extra pressure of, you know, uh,
No,
yeah,
fab. I love what you said about coming into the cooking sessions and that fulfills something from, your
absolutely, yeah.
younger days of missing out on something. That was a really beautiful way that you put that. I'd never heard you
Yeah,
say that before. So I'm really
absolutely,
happy.
yeah.
Um, how soon did you start noticing changes once
Definitely
started?
at the end of my first 6 months, I'd noticed so many changes. I'd lost lots of weight, my energy had improved, and I could feel the inflammation in my body had totally reduced. And that's what spurred me on really to sign up for another 12 months, because yeah, it was just a and I think the thing what I loved most is, you know, is that you're learning this stuff and you're eating differently and things, and the result of that is that the weight comes off. You're
Mm,
enjoying what you're doing, you're enjoying your food, you're not putting any limitations on yourself, but because you're changing the way you eat and you're working with your body, the weight just disappears,
mm,
like, if that's the word. Disappears.
mm.
Yeah, and that was nice to just know that I was doing something good for my body. I
Yeah.
was working with it rather than against it. And I don't feel like, I don't want to look back and think I was not being that was being unkind to my body. I
Mm.
think it's just because we're unconscious, we haven't got the knowledge, we don't know about how to work with it. And I
Yeah.
think with the program, that's what I've learnt, that's the big
Brilliant.
part of what I've been taught really, is how to work with it and
Mm,
what to put in it. And the more you do that and the better you feel, the more you're able to operate better in your families, in your work. And yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Oh. Um, were there any challenges or unexpected benefits during your journey on the program?
I think the unexpected benefit was definitely the weight loss, because I've always struggled with weight. But obviously, I know that the weight gain was to do with menopause. I think um, another unexpected benefit was the reduction in inflammation in my body, which is absolutely probably one of the top things that I came into the program for, because obviously the being told you had fibromyalgia, there's so much inflammation and pain in your body when,
Mm,
at that time. And I've got to say now, it's very rare that I really feel that pain that I used to feel in my body. And it's nice to know that what I'm putting in is not creating inflammation.
mm,
I think one of the biggest challenges was probably the sugar, because I think
mm,
I've always been had that addiction to sugar. Always from a little girl. I mean, even in Sukan sessions, we identified a part of me that would reach for sugar when I was little. And
Mm,
that's where that pattern had come from.
mm,
So being at the age that I am now and still reaching for the sugar, just knowing, going into that part of myself, the emotional and the mental stuff, and realizing that it was just a little girl trying to manage her emotions
mm,
and stuff. So that was great. So
mm,
now when I'm looking at sugar, I'm looking at it in a totally different way, like but it was hard because it's breaking so many pathways in your brain, in your habits, and yeah.
yeah.
So
I
the
mean, some
sugar
of the
thing.
work, sorry, go on, Kath.
No, it is just the sugar thing would have been the hardest, yeah.
Mm,
Um, but the benefits, definitely the reduction in inflammation and losing the weight, which I feel much lighter in my body. Like when I'm doing my yoga and stuff like that, I can move my body around much more easily. And that even that just surprises me now when I can move myself in a certain way. And I'm like, I would have never have been able to do that. Like
mm,
when I'm gardening, I struggled so much before I did the program. I used to think, I think I'm going to have to move because this garden's getting too much.
mm.
Where now I'm moving around and doing the weeding and just yeah. So that's huge, isn't it?
It is huge. It's really huge. Yeah. Just that flexibility and mobility in your body, it can
Unbelievable.
change the way you are, from the way you think to the way you want to actually, it spurs you on to do things. It can change everything. So I'm so
Absolutely.
pleased.
Yeah.
Um, can you share any specific moments or milestones when you felt a significant improvement?
I think it's just the inflammation, really. Definitely, mostly that, because that was just restricting me to do lots of things. Um, and to have that, that freedom in my body now and the lightness and the mobility is just worth so much because I think, in 2017, I thought that was me. I thought,
Mm,
this is going to be my life moving forward, not going to be able to move as much, not going to be able to do things with my husband and my family. And now I just feel like a different person. I'm dreaming more and wanting to do other things.
oh,
Yeah, like
awesome.
nice things.
That was actually, you kind of part answered my next question, but I'm going to ask anyway. How has your life changed since you started the program?
I think just um it's changed because I shop differently. I look at things differently, as in, things look different to me in the supermarket. I'm looking at, I know when things I can actually feel it in my body if it's not going to suit me. It's not going to suit how it's going to make me feel before I eat it and things like that. So even just, I think the program helped me to have that more awareness of the sensations in my body regards food.
Mm,
So yeah, I think,
mm.
can you just repeat that question again, please?
Oh, you answered it really well, but I'll
Did
ask
I?
you again.
Okay.
How's your life changed since you started our
Yeah,
program?
I think mainly is that looking towards the future, I think I have more confidence in maybe booking holidays and things that I wouldn't didn't think that I
Mhm.
could do. I didn't think I would be able to get on a plane and go anywhere abroad, or just because of how rubbish I were feeling before the program, where now I do feel confident enough to look at things and maybe even book things
Mhm.
to, yeah,
Oh, you did. You
yes, I
came on our
did.
retreat.
I did. And that was a really a big thing for me on many levels.
Mm,
Yeah.
fab. How has your overall outlook on life or well-being changed since managing your menopause symptoms effectively?
I feel like I don't know whether I'm going to answer this question correctly or not, but it's just helped me to look at I just feel like over the years the media and things might have influenced me in some way. So there's
Mm,
been some sort of conditioning in a way. But I feel like the program has opened me up to a whole different world of just eating like really natural stuff that nourishes your body, and just being really careful as to what ingredients are in food and
mm,
things like that, which I think is huge. And knowing, I think, along the way is how I was before the program and how I am now. And just having that comparison. Um, yeah.
mm.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's massive. It's like looking
It's
into your
you.
future, isn't it? And knowing that it can be completely different now, the way you handle menopause, as opposed to, and the way you bring in the media, I think it's really critical as well, because we are told in the media menopause is going to be absolutely terrible. So you're already expecting it to be really awful.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be. If you already
Yeah.
believe it's going to be really terrible
Yeah.
and you don't have a solution to it, then you just think, okay, menopause, this is how menopause is. That's how I have to experience it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think ladies thinking that they have to they should be doing things in a certain way, where I feel like the program is just so gentle on so many levels. And I think at the time in menopause, that's what we need. We need those boundaries, but we need that safe place to
Mm,
just take things in at our own pace, really. Because there's so
yeah,
much other stuff going on in our body. We don't need pressure from so many other things. And um yeah. No, I've enjoyed the journey, which I think that's a really nice thing to say when you hear so much bad press about menopause.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? And I
yeah,
feel as though um just learning about myself and what I need as a person. Not
mm,
saying that on a selfish level, but I think, we're all different, aren't we? We're all made
absolutely.
different.
Yeah. And you can only work from the perspective of yourself
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So it's not selfish at all. It's actually,
Mm,
self-care.
yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
thank you. Would you recommend our program to others who are experiencing menopause symptoms?
Absolutely. And it's a constant for me. I do recommend you and Sue can to anyone that I can come across in my daily life. Anyone, and especially in my circles, people are looking for a natural way of, looking at things and also getting to the core of what is actually happening in your body,
Mm,
rather than just focusing on the surface stuff. There's always a lot more going on than just,
absolutely.
yeah. So all the time, and I will be moving forward, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What advice would you give to other women who are currently going through menopause?
I think my main advice is to be really, really super kind to yourself. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself and definitely seek out people like yourself and who can, you know, what can I say? Nourish you and support you in a really caring environment, really, while you're going through it, because it's a difficult time, you know. Yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. And is there anything you wish you had known earlier in your menopause journey?
I think you do talk about it quite a lot, Jay, and I think what would be really helpful to all women is that if we knew a little bit more about it when we were younger and started younger, just to prepare for it and know all this information a lot younger, I think.
Mhm.
Maybe this is just the transition of things to come, the changes to come, and maybe young girls will learn a little bit more, when they're younger, so they can prepare for it. But yeah, that'd be so lovely for us to have that knowledge
Mm,
sooner.
yeah.
Yeah.
And final thoughts. So, looking back, how do you feel about the decisions you've made regarding your menopause management?
I don't think I'd change a thing. Yeah, I feel like I've literally found the best way to manage it, the best people to help me through that journey to the other side, from the beginning over to the other side into the menopause. And yeah, I wouldn't want to change a thing really. I've enjoyed every single moment, and it's not been easy. It's not an easy path. I think when you're going down the natural path, people, it can be quite challenging at times, but if you do want to take that natural route, um, yeah, definitely would recommend you to. And yeah, it's been the best journey, definitely.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, or anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to say something about?
No, I don't think there is really. Just that thank you.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I just like one sentence to sum up your experience on our program.
Awesome. Yeah.
Kathy, Kathy, if I'm putting Kath and thank you together, but Kath, thank you so much for just spending these few minutes with me. And this could help somebody else as well. And that's what we want. We just want to serve from
Absolutely.
the best possible place. And knowing of your experience and how you experience the program is really huge, for other women who are trying to get some sort of solution for their menopause journey.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Jay.
you. Thank you, Kath.